Calgary Flames had one of their best drafts in team history back in June of 2024. Even at the time, it seemed too good to be true, but 6 months later, we check in on how the most recent Flames draft picks are doing, and it's safe to say that this Flames prospect update is insane. The Flames' future is in good hands. We're going to get into all that and more in this video, but first I want to welcome you to Flames Digest. I'm Mark Griffith. If you're new around here and you love the Flames, make sure you subscribe so you can stay up to date on all the latest news, updates, reports, and rumors revolving around your Calgary Flames. We would love to welcome you to the Flames Digest family. Let's hop into the top picks here. Now, the way this video is going to work is it's actually an article from the Calgary Herald that lists all 10 of the Flames' most recent draft picks. So the Flames obviously made 10 picks in 2024. This is going to be part one of a 3-part series because I'm sure most of the people on the channel know by now, but these videos are being pre-recorded quite a while in advance, as currently I am in Mexico as you are watching this. So I know. Thank you so much. I'm really taking full advantage of being on vacation, but like I said, we have a wonderful article to go with. This is part one. So this is the article here. It's by Daniel Austin. Like I said, it's from the Calgary Herald. So how are they doing? Checking in on the Flames 2024 NHL draft class 6 months after being selected. Now, it was published way back in 2024. By the time you're watching this, it's like the second week of 2025, but it's still a great article. So here's our rundown. So the Calgary Herald's rundown of the 10 players the Flames took in the draft and how they've started their respective season. So after dealing away veterans throughout the 2023-24 season, the Flames had 10 picks in the late June NHL draft and stocked their prospect cabinet with players who will hopefully form the foundation of contending teams well into the 2030s. 6 months later, how are they doing? Here's the Calgary Herald's rundown of the 10 players the Flames took in the draft and how they've started their respective seasons. Now, last year, some of these guys had just incredible seasons. You think of guys like Zane Parekh, who it was honestly like a generational season in a way of just how good of an offensive defenseman he is. He's back in junior again. How's he doing? Some of these other guys, maybe had better seasons in their draft year because a lot of people want to do that because they want to be drafted as high as possible and then get paid as much as possible, but still certain guys can do really well in the season after they are originally drafted. Now let's of course start with the main man, the man in the thumbnail, the man everyone cares about the most, Zane Parekh. And forgive I tried to draw it on with my finger there right before I started recording this. Not the best typography or whatever that's called by myself. Calligraphy maybe is a better word. I don't really know, but either way, let's start with Parekh. So he was selected in the first round, 9th overall. We all know he is a defenseman, and he's currently playing with the Saginaw Spirit of the OHL, the defending Memorial Cup champs, and they have some very good players as well as just Parekh. So how's he doing? That's what we want to know. How are they doing? Are they developing well? Are they going to be good players for the Flames? So how he's doing? Expectations are sky high for Parekh, and rightfully so. He led all CHL defensemen in scoring last season when he put up 96 points in 66 games, and his skating and playmaking ability should have him quarterbacking the Flames power play in the not so distant future, which is totally true. That's just how good he is offensively. He described his first NHL training camp in September as being humbling and was a late cut to Canada's team at the World Juniors Tournament, and we all know how that went for Canada. Maybe if they had Parekh, they wouldn't have been knocked out in the quarterfinals once again. But either way, he started the season strong, scoring 11 goals and adding 26 assists through 29 games. Only 3 defensemen in the OHL have recorded more points, and Parekh isn't far behind any of them. So by the time this video actually goes live, Parekh could have climbed the ladder a little bit and maybe be closer to the top in OHL scoring. I know he's played a few more games than some of the other guys, but still having an insane season once again. Parekh had a busy summer that included a trip to the Memorial Cup, everything surrounding the NHL draft, his first development camp, and then time with Team Canada, and also made a trip to Calgary itself, had some fun at the Stampede. That's always a good christening to the city and to the organization. But he'll benefit from a bit more time off in the summer of 2025. So maybe it won't be as busy once this season is over and he can truly rest before getting into that full development mode, and once again, maybe he'll try to make the team out of camp. Who knows what the Flames D-core will look like going into the summer and into next season. So we have our sights set on having Parekh at the NHL level sooner than later, just as, big optimists who want to see exciting Flames hockey, of course. So that's Parekh for you. Let's get into number 2, Matvei Gradin. Once again, forgive my writing there. I promise these are the only 2 in the whole series. So if that bothers you, don't worry. Once this screenshot is done, that's it for all of these. But let's get into Matvei Gradin. So he was taken in the first round, 28th overall. He's a left wing, kind of a bit of a surprising one. No one really saw it coming. He was coming out of the USHL last year, and it was weird. He was maybe going to go to the University of Michigan, but then it was said, you know, does he have the academics to do that? Is he capable of doing it? You know, it was a weird thing overall, but still, bit of a surprising pick, but it's ended up looking like a pretty good one. Another winger to add to all the prospects the Flames do have on the wing. It'll be hard for him to make the team, but this year he's with the Shawinigan Cataractes of the QMJHL. So how is he doing? Everything you'll read about Gradin will mention his wicked shot, which saw him lead the USHL in scoring during the 2023-24 season. The Flames like his vision and speed, and it sure seems like his skill set has translated immediately to the Canadian junior game in his first year in the Q. Gradin is 14th in scoring in the Quebecois League. Once again, that's just at the time of recording, who knows, with 16 goals and 20 assists in 30 games. So not quite the same amount of scoring going on in the Q as in the OHL, but still, those are great stats for a developing player. His performance throughout training camp impressed too, with head coach Ryan Huska describing him in glowing terms after he was cut. I almost envision him as a guy who is going to go away, he's going to dominate the Q, and he's going to come back next year and be in a position to make our team. He's got the ability to play the game. Great words of praise from Husk himself, and I think both of them know that Gradin can develop into a very good player for this team. I know it's another winger, but still, it's not bad to have a boatload of them in the pipeline. Now let's get into the last man we'll look at in this video, and oh my goodness, you're saying, thank goodness he actually left the name from the article in there. It wasn't separated by an ad I didn't want to give free promotion to. But Andrew Basha was the Flames' next pick. So he was drafted in the second round, 41st overall. Another left winger again. He's currently playing with the Medicine Hat Tigers in the WHL, so OHL, QHL, dub now. And a lot of people remember Basha as well is from Calgary, which is super cool to note. So, how is he doing? Basha missed a dozen games this season for the Powerhouse Tigers, but heading into Sunday's action, he still scored 9 goals and added 20 assists in 23 games while serving as part of the leadership group for a team that has a legitimate Memorial Cup aspirations. Now, of course, that's the team Gavin McKenna is on as well, which is super exciting as well. So the Calgarian has excellent playmaking and scoring skills, but he plays with an edge too, and his checking game could be what earns him playing time as he begins making the transition to pro hockey in a year or two. Flames coaches raved about his work ethic and approach to training camp. There's nothing bad to say about Basha, honestly. I mean, I think it'll be quite a while before he would see any NHL action. Again, it's just because of how many wingers there are, but don't be surprised if he's with the Wranglers next year, if not definitely 2 years from now. I mean, that's all in saying that all these guys will remain with the franchise. Who knows? Some people get traded away, some people want to go elsewhere, which ends up being fine, and so it's another winger in the pipeline, but he's really, really good. And once again, you know, all of these guys, all these ones we're looking at in part 1, Parekh, Gradin, Basha, they are all insane. It's an insane update knowing that we have so many good players in the pipeline. There were so many years in a row, it seemed, where there were no prospects to be too excited about, or the ones that were prospects to get excited about just made the team right away because that's how good they were. Guys like Tkachuk, you know, so it's so nice knowing that through all the rounds of last year's draft, there's so many guys we can get so excited about. So again, for part 1 of this series, this 3-part series, which will go across the next 3 days, we are in great hands for the future with on the wing and, of course, offensive defensemen. But there is more to come, so stay tuned for the next couple of days. Now, let's wrap this up with the comment of the day. And obviously, this comment comes from quite a while ago, and I just thought it was, simply put, one of the best comments we've ever had on the channel. Because, what does it say? Well, Gary, he says, "Go Flames!" Exclamation point. Smiley face. Doesn't get any simpler than that, and we all feel the exact same way in saying go Flames. We absolutely love them. Love simple comments like that. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe like you saw here today and have a wonderful rest of your day.